How is it going, everybody? And welcome to my channel. You are probably wondering why you need to see me in this big screen. And this is really simple. I think a special deck requires a special video. This is why we are here. And I want to show you this deck with this win rate, because I think currently so many Esper players are out there, and this deck is just a mid-range destroyer. So not only Esper, but you see the win rate against Esper. This is also one of the main reasons I want to do it now, but also we are so amazing against aggro decks, against control decks, that the win rate speaks for itself, I think. This is why, without further ado, let's go and check out the deck. So, this is much better. A little bit smaller, I think, is always a little bit better. But still, let's check this deck shortly out, and we're gonna play best of 3 first and best of 1 afterwards, and see if we can reach Mythic today, because I'm so short before it. This is why let's check it shortly, check the sideboard a little bit, and then we're gonna see in the breakdown much more detailed analysis of this deck. So the main idea, of course, is here, because there are so many Espers and other mid-range like Rakdos and Golgari, Mono Black out there, that I thought we need something that can outgrind these matchups, but also not being dead to the Shuffler. And this is why you see me here, the Farmhand and the Professor of Symbology, because we're gonna also play not only against our mid-range opponents, but also against the Shuffler of the Arena, to not being land starved or not to draw too much things that we don't really need. This is what these two does. The rest is basically here to accomplish our flexibility in this deck. Not only we are an exile color, so white is an exile color, we can exile a lot, also with our sideboard, but also we have really powerful tools in the top end, and we can grind really good. This is why we are just gonna destroy Esper. Good matchups for you is Esper and Enchantments. This is amazing matchups, and this is currently, I think, the most played decks out there. The other great matchups I found is Jund and Rakdos Obnix's decks. With some sideboard adjustment, it's much better, but even without, in best of 1, if you wanna take this deck in the right for best of 1, it's just performing amazingly, because we have so many tools against them. So this is the deck. We're gonna check it out, as I said already, in a breakdown a little bit more, but let's check out the sideboard, because we first gonna jump into the best of 3 queue. And in the sideboard we have Pitching Needles to deal with Chariots and Planeswalkers. Then we have Bankbusters, because Esper use Vanishing Verse. Vanishing Verse cannot exile rainbow creatures or gold creatures, or however you wanna call it. This is a vehicle that cannot be targeted by Vanishing Verse. And Unlicensed Hearse. Amazing addition from new Capenna, and I think maybe you're gonna see it in best of 3 queue, because usually if we play against something that utilizes a graveyard, we can sideboard it really easy, and can also use it with almost every creature that we have to crew it. What this creature does, if somebody is unfamiliar, is or what this artifact does, it enters the battlefield, it instantly can tap and exile 2 cards from a single graveyard. So from your opponents or from yours, depends if you want to grow your creatures and you have something in your, you want to grow to hers. You have something in your graveyard, you can use your graveyard, but usually we sideboard it, of course, against opponents that utilize their graveyard, and there are a lot of them. Golgari, Boros Reanimation, some Mono Black lists also has some graveyard synergies, but still, if you need something from graveyard hate, this is it. This is an amazing card. 2 mana, comes in, exile 2, gets bigger each turn, because you can tap it, exile, and it gets bigger each turn. And just amazing addition. Reidane, everything that has Planeswalker that costs 4 or more, like Wandering Emperor. Just an amazing addition. We have in the mainboard 2, in the sideboard 1, so we can go up. And then, of course, Doomscar, if some creature matchups are difficult to handle and we need a sweeper on turn 3, go and do it. This is why, guys, without further ado, let's jump into the best of 3 queue, and before you leave, consider to subscribe to my channel. It will be amazing support for my community and for me. And if you want to be part of the community, join the Discord server. There we have a really cool community with really amazing people, where we can have all sorts of discussions. Otherwise, let's roll it. So it looks like we found our first opponent, best of 3, 2 cages against Cicero 13. And let's see what we are up against. I like to take this deck in the right of best of 1, but also best of 3, because it's just so versatile. Of course, with this limitation a little bit of, and looks like Esper, we love Esper. I hope it's Esper. Yes, it's Esper. What is he foretelling? This is Esper I foretell something on turn 2? Okay. I love to play this deck against midrange, and currently, because so many people running Esper and this all other lists like Rakdos, Mardu, I think this deck is in a really good spot. This is why let's see what my opponent has to offer, and first we're gonna attack, and then we play a Restoration. Maybe this is a counterspell that my opponent foretold. Who knows? Could be. Maybe we can provoke and yes. This is good. As early he smash out his Vanishing Verse, as better. And instantly, I told already for all best of 3 games, think already what is good in the sideboard. And I told you, I showed you the sideboard a little bit. For example, Bankbuster is amazing here. We're gonna see what other synergies my opponent has or has not. So opponent exile. We now discard Luminarch Aspirant because it's a free spell, right? We cast it for free now because with 2 mana 2 or less we can return it to the board. We can play you and opponent has 4 mana open. He has only 1 blue source there. So I have the choice or to play my own Wanderer. Maybe he play Memory Deluge too, but he doesn't have the mana for Memory Deluge. This is why I consider maybe Farmhand and Qatar in opponent's turn, right? So let's do that. We play the Farmhand, the Ambitious, and this is why I love this deck. Then we put a counter on him because maybe he flashing the Wanderer and minus on the Lumi. But looks like it's dead turn for my opponent. Okay, Doomscar. Expected, but my enchantment's gonna pop. And this gives me some extra possibilities, definitely. Another Wanderer is great. So we're gonna play the plane, play the Wanderer, and we're gonna plus the Wanderer on our command, go in for 4. This is how it is, and now when opponent plays, of course, maybe waiting announcement or something like this, we can remove it with our Qatar and all other interactions. But I don't know, my opponent foretells what? What do you foretell? Another Doomscar? I don't even know what he can foretell in this moment. My turn, sure. 3 mana open. We can currently not play anything that we need to. Let's go with Wanderer plus, maybe Vanishing Verse on Wanderer, but this will be okay. Let's attack. Infernal Grasp. Sure. Heal it, my friend, heal it. It's a painful Infernal Grasp, and the opponent is already at 10, so he needs to be really careful. I'm a little bit surprised that there was no Vanishing Verse on Emperor. We're gonna see what my opponent is doing from here. If he does nothing, we Field of Ruins his blue mana, force him to look for some basics. Here comes the Vanishing Verse. Maybe this is Saw It Coming, right? But why would you foretell Saw It Coming so late on? Like, late on, keep your Saw It Coming as it is, right? So let's destroy the only blue source that he has. Let's see if he has a blue basic. He could not play Saw It Coming because he needs 2 double blue, unforetold. Okay, opponent didn't have a basic land. Good to know. Good to know, definitely. And currently I'm really unsure what my opponent is trying to play here. We're gonna go plus and let's go for 7. Bam bam. This is how it goes. This is why this deck is the mid-range destroyer. 4 mana on turn 7. And my opponent went first, I think, right? That's okay. 3. How about Professor of Symbology? Now we are of course gonna take Mascot Exhibition, we of course gonna minus here. And no need to play Skyclave Apparition because who knows what my opponent puts on the board, maybe something to chump block. Jesus. Show me something else, my friend. Don't know even if I need this one. Let's play you and let's play you out, just in case. So we have 2 creatures, now opponent needs to sweep again. And then we can play Mascot Exhibition, he needs to sweep again. Okay, my opponent gives up. I'm not sure, it looks like at least let's say I destroy everything you have. So this is why I think Skyclave Apparition It's not super necessary here, maybe a mistake. Also farewell, I don't think will be super helpful here. Let's cut one of it. I definitely think Bankbuster will be busted. And maybe one more Reidane. Should we keep a farewell? You think my opponent is on some sort of what are you? Not even sure what he is. Should we put few hearses inside? I mean, the rest I'm happy with, right? Flash creatures, this and this. Let's put one more sky, because I'm not sure what he's playing. What is his plan? How is he winning? How is he winning? Just gonna destroy everything? Sure. So I think this is the best. Bankbuster cannot be targeted by a Vanishing Verse. It's also an additional card draw if he removes too much. And the rest was okay, right? Skyclave Apparition is maybe a dead draw against his opponent, because I don't know currently what his win condition is. Is it Planeswalkers? Is it just annoyance? It can be everything, right? But yeah, an Esper list without basic blue land. Opponent took a mulligan. This is already really painful, I think, for him. And from here on, I'm really confident with this hand. Really confident with this hand. Opponent on 2 mana. We're gonna play you. We're gonna play. Let's start ticking the Sky Luminarch Aspirant. Maybe Jawari Disruption. Yeah, sure. Because he don't have a black source for Vanishing Verse, or and now he has a black source for Grasp. So this made me think about Pobrecita. Did he have at all any basics? Should I be so mean? Bro, play without lands. This is just evil, huh? It's okay, it's okay, it's just fun, just fun. Don't forget to have fun in Magic, my friend. You don't have basic lands. Yeah, what should I say? He don't have basic lands, and this looks really difficult for my opponent. He plays Esper list without basic lands. Guys, don't do that. Don't play Esper without basics. I know mana is sometimes a really difficult topic for some people, but here, don't do that. Another Jawari Disruption, okay. How about Bankbuster? Bankbuster. So it coming maybe will be okay too. Then I can resolve my Professor. Yeah. So my opponent is pure annoyance, right? He's like, oh, I'm gonna annoy you. I'm gonna destroy everything and I'm gonna counter everything. This is why I'm gonna take Muscat Exhibition. We are really close to it. And Farmhand, because of his fetch ability, okay, Farmhand, because of his fetch ability, it costs theoretically only 1, right? Because he comes in and he gives you a land in your hand. This not only helps with the Shuffler when, like right now, the Shuffler gives all the lands and everything to you, but it also helps to cast sometimes things that you want to cast. So let's attack first. Maybe my opponent, I don't know what my opponent has, and 2 cards, sure. I wanna bait out as many cards from my opponent as possible. Where's my drinky? And maybe next turn Doomskar will be okay too. This is one of the weirdest Esper player I encountered, and I saw a lot of different builds. And I have myself a really cool build, but I don't know if it's gonna be interesting for you. Probation. Then let's go in. Let's see what my opponent has. Okay. How about this one becomes a 3/3 with Knifelink? Sure, so this shows me definitely that my opponent do not have I don't need you at all. Let's make the land drop. Don't have a Doomscar in the hand. So if now Doomscar comes on top, or he plays Doomscar, it most likely was a top deck. Okay, my opponent says This was a really fast best of 3 game, and we are coming closer and closer. So one more game, and of course we're gonna go and play now in best of 1, because I promised you I want to show you as much as possible of this deck, and I wanted to go with you as long as I didn't reach Mythic, right? Like, if it takes me to 10 games and to reach Mythic, I will play 10 games with you right here, right now. So yeah, let's go best of 1. And here we are already in our best of 1 game against Yuki37. Yuki. And the opponent goes first, but I like the scent. Really much lands, so at least 5 lands we have here. So yeah, everything that is not a land drop is great. And looks like another Esper list. I told you we're gonna play against a lot of Esper. And this deck loves Esper. If you are tired of Esper, definitely you need to check this list out. Not only because of the win rate, but also because how good it performs against Esper. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's unbelievable. Do I care about Refine right now? I usually don't run so much counter spells, so theoretically I can also here 1 for 2, but then I need to discard something, blah blah blah. So I think I'm better off to playing Reidane, because then he's Wanderer, most likely he plays a Wanderer and he has already double mobile. He's not gonna come on turn 4. This will allow me to make some plays. So now he's required to Vanishing Verse and take 1 turn longer with the Wanderer. Let's see what my opponent discards. I'm sorry. Just got back from the work, is still a little bit tired. Opponent discards a Meat Hook Massacre. Okay. Sure. Another Ambitious, okay. Does this mean that I want to refine now? Because I go 1-3, I need to discard 1. I have how much? I discard the farmhand, right? Let me think. I discard the farmhand, it's +2. There's 1. For 1, then I have 2 left, can play Professor too. Yeah, let's do it. For 3, discard you, submit 1, go on you, say yes. And then I need to pay ward 1. Then I have 0, right? I don't think I want to do that, to be honest. I don't think I want to do that. I want to play you. And next turn Elspeth. Right? Right. So let's go here. I want to do something else here. I want to save my March for something else. Let's take Reduce to Memory. Then we can go and attack. Let's see what my opponent has to offer. Okay, Vanishing Verse. Yeah, was almost to expect. This means most likely that my opponent has the Wanderer, right? To deal with the Wanderer, let's go you. Let's go for 3. Let's take away Reduce to Memory because we just got it. Right. I go here for 1, right? 2, 3. Now I need to discard more. Scheiße. Okay, let's go. Farmhand takes another land. Yes. Take the land out, and then we're gonna see. Then we're gonna see what my opponent is up to. I forgot that it's just for 2, so it's 1 for white, 2, and I pay 1 myself, and then I need to pay 1 extra to pay the ward. Kaito, okay. Opponent is stuck on this amount, huh? Okay, now he has a land drop, okay. Not sure why. My opponent... Let's go attack first before we memory... Do I really care? Not really, right? Do I? Sure. Yes, yes. Exile it, and then we're gonna end the turn. And March is great for 0 to deal with the token, so if opponent is now to skip into attacking phase to draw with Wanderer, we're gonna go here for 0, confirm 0, and then we're gonna away with this token. So my opponent is not gonna attack and draw on card without discarding with Kaito. And next turn I'm gonna see if I can maybe hit something from the top with my Elspeth. Okay, another one. Sure. Sure. I need to pay 1, right? Yeah, I need to pay 1. So let's play you. Let's minus you and let's see if you hit Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, we did. So we can still exile you, pay the 1 for the ward, and still go in after Kaito. Opponent will now most likely play Midhook Massacre, right? Because Midhook Massacre also goes through the shield counters from my Skyclave Apparition. But this will give me the possibility to play Reidane later on and start plussing with my Elspeth to gain the advantage. And I consider Elspeth a little bit stronger than Kaito, just a little bit, because of her minus abilities being so powerful, finding these removal spells, exile spells that we need, right? Opponent has also the possibility, maybe... You're playing the net deck from CGB, can it be? Because I think CGB run the Null Priest. It's not a good card, don't run this card. 2 mana and kicked for 6 to recover something. Again, we are still in a meta where there's a lot of exile. You saw how many things I exiled and how many things I have in my sideboard to exile. This is why, yeah, don't do it. Most likely opponent will go for Midhook Massacre. Opponent goes for Wanderer. So my opponent will have Wanderer in play. This is why we're gonna bait the Wanderer first here with Reidane, because now the Wanderer, well, he still can play it for 6, right? Yeah, so he still can play it and think like, ah, you idiot, you don't know nothing. No, we can play Skyclave Apparition for Vigilance, and then wanna play you, right? Or I wanna destroy one of his lands. Yeah. So we go with you after you. He most likely flash in the Wanderer. The Wanderer will... No, he doesn't. Okay.
I'm hungry.
And let's go. You wanna see maybe what else do I got in my appartoire? So I'm gonna show him. Oh, Obscura. Okay, nice, nice. Nice. This is the reason maybe, for example, why didn't he... Wait. Why didn't he play Obscura on Reidane? Conspiracy. Why he didn't play it on Reidane? It will be the underdog. Suck on my thumb. Sure. Here, Professor. Professor, take care of it. That's a painful underdog, huh? Painful underdog. And I'm super happy that I can show you this deck against Esper, because against Esper, Rakdos, Jaunt, this deck is the burner. This deck is just the burner. So let's play you. Let's snap out our land. We can bring our Professor back, and the opponent knows it already, right? We're gonna go here just to start going away from Midhook a little bit. And then we're gonna go here. I'm not sure what my opponent can do against it. We're gonna go here and here. Let's see if Obscura wants to trade with Skyclave. I want Skyclave to die. I want to give him the token back. Because in case there is some sweeper, I don't wanna my opponent have a token left. Right. Sorry, I need to drink something. Super thirsty. Who cares? So now Midhook for 5 is almost impossible to play, right? it will be like 11 mana to kill Reidane. My opponent, and this is my mythic game. Guys, we did it. We did it. You and me. You and me. Look at us. Look at us. You and me. We did it. Yeah. Super, super. We're gonna definitely play one more because this was both too fast. Best of 1, best of 3 and best of 1 were too fast, too good, but I think they're super informative. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I hope to meet some other opponent, maybe some aggro opponent that you can see how this deck also performs good against aggro decks. So let's go next. Yeah, here we are, Mythic number 97. Super happy to be here. I didn't have so much time these months to play, and this is why yeah, I'm happy with this win rate to reach the Mythic relatively fast. Let's say with less time invested in games. Bloodfang, we're gonna keep this. Is amazing hand. We're gonna play Field of Ruins to confuse my opponent. Yes, it's a Rakdos opponent, and you can see at least how good it performs against other midrange decks like Rakdos, Giant, and so on. As I said, this deck is just pure midrange killer. It's just killer. It's just killer. What should I say? We have enough lands, so let's show our opponent reduced to memory that he plan ahead to reduce that I can exile something. So he maybe will try to play his worst spells against me, right? But we use it for our advantage. Now we're gonna attack first. 3 mana, do nothing, okay? And now we're gonna play Ambitious. No, we're gonna play another. No, Ambitious. I wanna see first what he's playing to plan my next move, what I wanna do, right? Because I wanna know if I maybe gonna cycle a card, right? Because you can use learn to cycle cards. You discard a card and you draw a card. Or do I need more lands? I think my opponent plays Invoke Despair. This is oh wow. 1 mana left. No. You run ritual rites. Oh, village rites, exactly. Man of culture. Man of culture, I love it. Okay. Then 1-2. I think next turn Invoke Despair is incoming this way. I wanna wait with my Emperor definitely. So let's go, let's make 1 damage. And then let's play you, but then I have 2 mana. I can fetch for another land. I can, but I also want to use Mascot Exhibition here, right? So let's finish it. Let's see what my opponent is gonna play. Most likely Invoke Despair. Most likely. No, Loli, okay. Loli is okay. Loli is okay, it's not a big deal. And we're gonna resolve it. We're gonna pass it. We're gonna play the Wanderer. We're gonna minus the Wanderer. Another Wanderer is an amazing choice. And opponent is not running... say the name. Opponent is not running Snow, so he cannot recover her. So to exile her now with reduced to memory will not make a lot of sense. What will make a lot of sense is to just attack her.
I have got new moves.
So let's go here for you with the Vigilant. You're an interesting addition from Betrayal. Ah, you are maybe Rakdos Vampires, huh? Rakdos Vampires. Who made a list on it against CGB? There are so many people who copied his list. And he gave it up. He gave it up, literally, he gave it up. So Professor into nothing. Professor into Ambitious Farmland level, right? Mascot Exhibition, and I can do it. Connive, Coven I can do also in opponent's turn, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do that afterwards when my opponent attacks. Or when he decides what he wants to do. I mean... Okay, and let's activate it now, as long as the creature is ours. Let's see whether my opponent wants to go with my Vigilant 3-3. Okay, I give it away. It's no point for me, like no effectively to trade with something, because the spiders have menace and I need to block with both. Qatar will survive, Professor will die. But I like his deck. Man of Culture, what should I say? This is super nice, super nice. Bro, I love it. Really love it. If you're watching in Bloodfang to play in Mythic with this deck, respect, respect. We have 5. We have 6. To 1, this one to 2. Should have played the Dragon Cave, right? It's okay. Elspeth gonna help me to fetch something. Something like Reidane will be nice, right? But also maybe Luminarch Aspirant will be cool. Pawn has 1 mana. Let's check what we have there.
And I will protect them.
And I'm doing it pre-combat because Luminarch Aspirant is a hit, often a hit. Oh yeah, Eiganjo. I think my opponent runs Midhook Massacre, I think so. Reidane is also amazing. How much is he able for? 5, 6, 7 plus 2 is 4. He can go for -3. So my Reidane will die. But still, let's take it, right? Ouch. Let's take it. We go 1, 2, and because I don't really, maybe it's a mistake. I'm not sure when my opponent is playing. Maybe it's a mistake to attack with both. Maybe I should have kept Professor, but even if he attacks with both, I cannot save Elspeth. And maybe I should have not played the Elspeth this turn. Maybe, just maybe. But I want to build a bigger board and see what my opponent is running, because currently I'm really curious what my opponent is doing here. Okay. Oh, so now he wants to stay back. Okay. Makes sense. Make sense, my love. Makes sense. Bloodfang, my love. Have you ever been called like this if you play Magic? Somebody called you my love when you play Magic? Underdog, okay. And this is underdog. Let's play you. Let's exile. Cancel. Let's attack with. Can I attack, please? At the moment, you have 3 mana left. What do you wanna do? What you wanna do? We come for you. And I'm thinking even to play the Shield of Reidane now. I was just thinking about. Maybe he runs Shadow's Verdict. We need to account it. We need to play around it. Right? Yeah. Then I have 2 left. No. No, 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 no. Not gonna play this for 2. I'm gonna play this. Why so much? Wait. 3, 4. Oh, Jesus. I think I misplayed here a little bit, but it's okay. I don't want to give my opponent card selection. Who knows what he has in his hand, right? I want to give him this one and end the turn. Next turn, Mascot Exhibition, and then turn afterwards, make everything indestructible. Opponent has something to interact. Oh, Price of Wild. Sure. Let's destroy his land. I had a lot of misplays here, to be honest. Okay, opponent has basic lands. Okay. We are gonna go and kill this one. I mean, it will be a really good draw, no? For my opponent to constantly draw the steal stuff and constantly draw the sacrifice stuff. So, but it's respect. Respect, I like this sort of decks. I think Dino had a similar deck. Or something that is pretty similar in this direction. Jeez, my battery is empty, I'm sorry. Okay, another one. Let's go with you, and we're gonna chill. Let's see what my opponent has now, if he has cards left here. But yeah, good draw, definitely good draw for my opponent. Very good, very good. I think I made some misplays that should not be done. But I'm still confident that we have good chances here. Because this is 9 damage here on the board. My opponent needs to be... okay, another price, okay. Let's see, I'm gonna block here and... let's block here. Just to reduce the amount of damage. And let's see if he has another sacrifice spell. No, he didn't, okay. Oh, Giada's gift. This is actually a really good one, huh? So let's go for the angels. And let's go apply some pressure on my opponent. I think this is currently important. Could also flash in the Wanderer plus her, put GG on it and go in. Relax, relax. Yeah, I need to jump. Don't want to go down to 1. Who knows what my opponent is running, as I said. Okay. Need to jumpy here. We have 7 mana. We can play Reidane and then flash in the Wanderer. Oh, okay. In Kakazan, you see, this is why we need to jumpy here. Jumpy here because of this. So opponent is empty-handed, right? Play Reidane. Next, stay back, next. Now when opponent attack all in, I'm gonna flash in the Wanderer. He gonna underdog it. Yeah, underdog it. Next. And I can exile the underdog if I need to. Or do I want to block it? Because if I exile you, block here 1, I take 5, gain 6, right? I think this is good enough. I exile him. Block 1 here. This is 5. And this should be good enough. Don't block the devils. And this is a GG, right? Good game, my friend. Good game, definitely. Good game. Yeah, this was definitely a really good game, but as I said, confidence was there. 1 life kill was really close, really good. Amazing game. How do you want to finish the game else? 1 life from me and the opponent is -1, so perfect, right? Perfection. That's why let's get straight into the breakdown. We have to talk there a little bit more about the deck and to discuss some changes, to discuss some things that I like, so stay tuned. Let's go. Hello and welcome into the breakdown part. If you're first time here, it's where we discuss some changes and some possibilities in the deck, and I go a little bit more in the detail, so people who are not so interested into these things, that they can get straight into the gameplay, and we can talk here about additional changes or things that I tried out that worked well or not so well, and so on, and why I decided to go for some cards or not. So let's start first off with all the beginning. I think it should be over me now. Here our GG artifact, I call it like this, I'm sorry, this is the way I, Luxior Giada's gift, Luxior Giada's gift, GG artifact, this is why, Giada's gift, GG, you know it. One of, and you remember maybe my past video, I discovered the synergy from the past video, inclusion also of GG and Elspeth in this deck, and actually in this deck I discovered the synergy because it can finish the games, especially against control matchups, really fast. To being able to do for 4 mana, attach, like you for 1 mana you attach it to Elspeth, give it plus, give maybe something else plus, she's suddenly an 8/8/9/9 with I don't know, lifelink, first strike, whatever you need, right? And then for 3 mana you can detach it and put it on another creature to protect your planeswalker from easy removal. I think it's an amazing tool. I think this is this makes it really good. For 4 mana, making this plays in the late game especially, and I won really much games against Esper with this combination, but also of course Esper, all the midrange is a good opponent for us, and currently midrange is the name of the game. This is why I want to show you this game deck, and this is why I think this is so special. Yeah, but also GG with our Wanderer is also amazing. If you flash the Wanderer on the opponent's turn, you can create a token, whatever, and then on the turn after you have enough mana to play the GG and then equip it, and it's just 2 mana, right? And then you can instantly go in with your Wanderer that will be like a 6/6 or something, right? Because you can put the counters on her and she will be bigger because of the loyalty counters too. Because she also put with +1 a +1 counter plus first strike. So this is really cool synergy and I like it. This artifact is great. One-off is amazing. No, you don't need more. You don't need more. It's not necessary to have this artifact, but I found myself winning. Let's say this artifact is a game-winning change in this deck. So it can be that your win rate maybe will vary without this artifact. Orderly, again, really cool tool. Skyclave Apparition we have as an exile spell. And we have Reduced to Memory, also as an exile spell that produce a token. These tokens we can just for single mana, we choose 0, exile a token, doesn't matter how big it is. But also, of course, against Ren and 7 and all these things is just a really good removal. Really versatile against runes. Runes, I laugh if I play against runes. It's just such an easy matchup for me, or for this deck, because boom, exile, boom, exile, boom, exile. Reidane tags their showdown of the Skald. Wanderer, boom, exile. Espleth, -3, Skyclave Apparition, boom, exile. So there is so much, and also Farewell, boom, exile. Runes, I laugh about them. It's also a really good matchup for us. Runes never had an issue, except you keep a terrible hand, then yeah. Oh, of course, I forgot Qatar Command. Not exile, but destroyed, like whatever enchantment. They steal something from you, they take away your Skyclave Apparition or whatever with their Circle of Confinements or Borrow Time. Brutal Qatar comes in, boom, destroy the artifact or destroy the enchantment, and you get your Skyclave Apparition back, exile something else. So just an amazing matchup too. Then Ambitious Farmhand. These two, this Professor of Symbology, let's put them here. Professor of Symbology is Ambition Farmhand. This too is an amazing tool and also really budget friendly, so if you're looking out for it. In general, this deck is not super expensive. It's on the expensive side, but I think it's also on a super competitive side. These two are here basically to negate the effect of Broken Shuffler, right? If Shuffler gives you like 2 lands, and then since 3 or 4 turns you draw 0 lands, this is what these two prevent. And also they give you chance against these aggro decks. You know, maybe this Boros aggro is now on the rise, this Boros burn or however they call. A lot of creators make a video on it. This deck laugh about it, because we have so much 2-drops that are just chump blockers, but already have an effect when they come in. And Ambitious Farmhand, don't forget, for 3 mana he can also be a 3/3 life linker, so you can gain life back. And we have some accidental life gain here with our Wanderer, You saw it in the last game against this Steel Sacrifice deck. It won us the game because of the live game. Also, Elspeth can give plus token with lifelink. So we have some accidental life gain, and also Farmhand fits really good here. This is why these two are must. These two are the legs of this deck, right? Without it, it will not walk, it will not run, it will do nothing. Those two are legs. You can go up on Farmhand. I played at the beginning 4-off, but then I found myself being a little bit too passive against control decks, because usually they don't remove it and it's a 1-1, and then you hit, and then when you meet the requirements of Coven, they can remove it still, right? Or they can sweep, or they can meet Hook Massacre. This is why I removed the Farmhand and added Qatar Command, because he has Flash, he's 3-1, and he also plays in this synergy in this deck really good with Flash, but also being a big beater. So after I play a command, usually opponent is forced to use removal spells or forced to sweep, right? Because it's 3 damage each turn coming in their face while I'm doing other things. So this is why I reduced 2 Farmhands and added 2 commands. This is a great addition. Luminarch, I don't need to talk a lot about it. Then Restoration of Eiganjo, and here is a lot of combos here that I maybe missed out to show you against this Esper deck that didn't have basic lands. Because, for example, if you have Field of Ruins with Eiganjo, after you played Eiganjo Restoration, of course, in turn 4, you make an upkeep stop. So you click on the point on your next to your avatar, and then when this happens, you can sacrifice Field of Ruin, destroy an opponent's land, and get Field of Ruins back to you with discard a card, return a card, right? So you can cycle then a basic land for another Field of Ruins. This can literally break an opponent on turn 4 if they don't run enough basic lands. This is why, don't forget this, it comes often up. It comes often if you play against Junt, if you play against Esper. This this play is often the best play you have on turn 4, because not only you reduce their mana, but also you slow them down so much that on turn 5 you can do things that they are still on turn 3, let's say, right? So yeah, this play is really good, and especially threatening the opponent to do Field of Ruins again is just amazing. And often they scoop. If they don't have basic lands, they leave the game with these plays. Otherwise, always keep in mind the second chapter of Restoration of Eiganjo, return permanent with mana value 2 and less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's a free spell. So in this case, if we have Professor, Farmhand, Luminarch, for example, Qatar, rarely I do it with Qatar, but with this 3, I definitely do it more often than not, because then instead of discarding a land and get it tapped in, of course, if you have nothing else, you do it with the land, but you discard one of them, play them one for free, get the enter battlefield ability or the counter already provided, right? And then you can still make your plays on turn 4, on turn 5, whenever you played the Eiganjo Restoration. So this is a really common pattern and really powerful pattern. This is why Eiganjo is here, but also the artifact creature is a really powerful vigilant creature that can take over games, especially these long grindy games where everybody destroys each other win condition, right? So if you play against another control deck or another mid-range deck, they usually tend to destroy a lot of things, sweep a lot of things, and then Eiganjo Restoration, the creature here, the enchantment creature, is really powerful because it provides you with tokens, but also it provides you with a vigilant threat that can become, with our Elspeth, a flyer, a lifelinker, and constantly getting bigger. So opponent has now not only to deal with our planeswalkers, but also to deal with a threat that is vigilant. I'm sorry. I think this enchantment is generally really good. I will not run 4. 3 is perfectly fine, because we want to also make other space for our 3 drops here. Let's put it back, so just it's more organized. You too. And where did you go? Here. Yeah, our 3 drops is specifically picked for, of course, our Elspeth. Elspeth with -3, who doesn't know, you can go and check your top, how much, 7 cards, and pick a card with mana value 3 or less, and play it with a shield counter on it. So you see, maybe all our 1 drops profit from the shield counter, all our 2 drops, or almost all except Restoration of Eiganjo, profit from the shield counter, because we can play it, and then they are more difficult to remove. And can maybe protect your Elspeth effectively. For example, Skyclave Apparition, you saw it in some games. Then turn 4. There is nothing better than a Legion Angel because it's literally free cards for you and free powerful cards. 4 mana for a 4/3 flyer. Flyer is really powerful, and especially midrange has really much difficulties to deal with it because they need actually, like, let's say, kill it each turn, otherwise you will kill them faster than they can kill you. Yeah, Wanderer, what should I say? Best card since a long time. I think since Ikoria is one of the best cards, planeswalkers, tools printed, right? In worst case scenario, it's a exile, gain life. 4 mana for an exile spell, and gaining life is really good. In the best case scenario, it's like it's good against aggro, it's good against control, it's good against midrange. This is why this card sees so much play, and this is why it's also here. Emeria's Call, also an amazing addition, especially in this grindy matchup. I think in the best of 1 or best of 3, I'm sorry, there was this opponent who played, I remove everything, I counter everything until I draw my Kraken or whatever it was the win condition. And here there is things like Emeria's Call, just an amazing tool, because then again they need to sweep, they need to kill, because this is 8 damage in the air, it's really difficult to handle. And Farewell, just a multi-versatile tool. I was looking for a lot of things that deal with the graveyard, deal with enchantments, with artifacts. This is what Farewell does, and this is why we have 2 of them in the deck. Dragon, I don't wanna talk too much about the mana base here. Let's talk about the sideboard, I think. Sideboard, I mean, for the learn spells, I think it's pretty obvious. I think if I will cut here, this will be the Academic Probation, the only card that I will maybe cut, but sometimes it's really useful, especially against opponents who build up a lot of blockers in the late game, like Golgari or Mono Black. When they play Lolth, when they play Sorin and stuff like this, they build a lot of blockers, and you need just like this one final push, you know, like one final attack to get through it. This is where Academic Probation is really useful. You can learn for it, you can take it, and make a creature, let's say, not being able to block, can help you really much out. Science Reduced to Memory, I don't need to talk, amazing cards. Mascot Exhibition, also great. Then the sideboard. I showed it shortly in the intro already, but I want to talk a little bit more. Pitching Needle, Jessica Chariot, and Obnixes, and all these common planeswalkers, amazing, right? Don't forget it's also both-sided, right? So because it's not choose an opponent and then you choose a card name, it says choose a card name and then activated abilities of the source you choose name can be not activated unless it's mana ability. So if you choose, for example, Wandering Emperor, also your own Wandering Emperor will not be able to do anything. This is why choose wisely. And yeah, I barely sideboarded it because against John we are amazing. We don't need to sideboard a lot. Bankbuster is here against Esper. If you play against Esper, Bankbuster cannot be hit by Vanishing Verse, and this is the main removal that the most Esper lists run. Most often they run 4 of Vanishing Verses. Bankbuster cannot be removed. Bankbuster gives you card advantage, but Bankbuster can attack for a lot of, or like let's say a lot, 4 damage if you need to, and then he also provides you with treasures and stuff. Amazing. Then another tool that I found really helpful because I've played against one Boros Reanimator deck. And he crushed me. And this is why I said I need something to deal with the graveyard, because if you don't take your farewell or get your farewell in time, or if the reanimation player is really good and do not discard the reanimation target until they can reanimate it, it's really difficult to deal with it, because even farewell, even if it hit the graveyard, it's yeah, often too late because it costs 6 and a reanimation spell in white, this invoke something, invoke the calamity, or no, calamity is the red one, you know what I mean. It's for 5 and farewell is often too late if you're on the draw. This is why I needed something to deal with the graveyard from my opponent, but also maybe stay more aggressive, because usually these decks tend just to run some removal, some sweepers like Burn Down the House and Abrade. Unleash, Unlicensed Hearse is here just an amazing tool. I think 2 off you should always run here, because white don't have so much graveyard hate. Because also we are an exile, let's say, color, right? White is exile. Then another Reidane, again, against Planeswalker matchups, against Golgari, against Jaunt, everything that plays Planeswalker that are 4 or more, Reidane is amazing, so this is why she's here. And 2 Doomskars, just if we play against some aggro matchups where we need to sweep on turn 3, this is where Doomskar is really handy. Well, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed. This is so far it for the deck. As I said, this is an amazing deck. I hope you will craft. You can craft it if you don't have too much wildcards. As I said, a lot of these cards will rotate out. I will look if I can make it after the rotation too. Something similar that is a mid-range destroyer. Then we're gonna see. But until now, if you have these cards, maybe missing some cards that will stay after the rotation, definitely craft. So if you don't have Elspeth or Wanderer or Farewell, definitely craft them. If you're missing Emeria's Call, it's okay. You can replace it with another lens or like Skycliffe Apparition and stuff. Eiganjo, I will craft it if you like. Mono white in general as a mid-rangey controlish type. I think a restoration of Eiganjo will see play definitely. So you can craft it. It's Kamigawa. It will stay there. Oh yeah, on this spot, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you like it. It was a really special video, I think also a really special deck, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Ciao.